I am K. Rajalingam, Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department, P.S. Kannai College of Engineering and Technology, Dindigul. We are going to see engineering graphics subject today's lecture. In engineering graphics, we are going to see the basic principles of engineering graphics. Engineering graphics or engineering drawing is a very interesting subject. We will see first the introduction. Engineering graphics is the language of engineers. Language means it is used for communication. Graphical communication is very much interesting. For example, if you are giving your address to someone else who is very new to you, and if you are giving your address and asking him to locate your house, it is very difficult for him to inquire and locate your house. Instead, if you give it in a form of graphical representation, if you give your address to someone else who is very new to you, it is very difficult for him to inquire and locate your house. Instead, if you give it in a form of graphical address, then he can locate by identifying some of the spots and then reach your home without any difficulty. This is the way of representing anything in graphical form. In the introduction, we can say the engineering graphics or engineering drawing is an interesting subject for the beginners. Through engineering drawing, we are going to learn how to increase our imagination capacity, how to increase our creativity. This subject will lead to making the students to think and do it. Only if you understand the concept in engineering graphics, you will be able to do the subject very well. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to do the subject. Next, the classification of engineering graphics. In the classification, we have the plane geometry and solid geometry. Plane geometry means representing two-dimensional objects in two-dimensional media. That means two-dimensional drawing sheet or two-dimensional board, etc. Solid geometry means it is that representing three-dimensional objects in two-dimensional media. Next, pictorial drawing. If you see an object in the pictorial form, it is represented like this. In this representation, we are able to see the overall view of the object. Now, it is not giving the true shape and size of the object. If you want to get the true shape and size of the object, we have to go for the orthographic projection. Here, in pictorial drawing, we cannot use it for industrial purpose, for manufacturing purpose, etc. So, for this reason, we are going for the orthographic projection. Next, the orthographic projection. Orthographic projection means it is a perpendicular projection. For example, if you have a point A at this point, if you have a point here, if you observe from this side and then it is projected towards, if you draw a perpendicular line from the point A to a plane called vertical plane, then this observation is called as the orthographic projection. Here, the person who is observing is called the observer, the point or the object is called object, and the plane where this view is projected is called the projector, and the point at which the perpendicular line pierces the plane is called the projection of the point. See, in the observation, if you observe any object, according to the law of physics, the light rays falling on the object reflects and it hits your eye. So here in the rays forms the image of the object on your retina. So this is the concept of observation. So that observation is coming into picture in orthographic projection. Here the light rays reflecting is called as visual ray. We are treating that as emerging from our eye, it goes to the object and it projected to the plane. So here the object, the point is called as object, the observer, the person who is observing is called the observer, and where the object is projected is called the plane of projection. Now in the orthographic projection, we have in space, it is divided into 4 quadrants called first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Here the plane which is in between is a vertical, is called as a vertical plane, and the plane in the horizontal size is called as the horizontal plane. We are going to see actually how we are observing an object and how we are going to draw the object. This is the quadrant which we have seen earlier. The same quadrant, it is tilted and it is kept like this. Now this part is called as the first quadrant, this one is the second quadrant, this one is the third quadrant and this one is the fourth quadrant. Now if you place an object in the first quadrant and observing from this side, now the rays of this point, this point, this point and this point hits this plane, and then if you join those points you will get the view. That view is called from front view, because you are observing from the front and getting this figure. Now if you assume that you are at the top and then observe the same object, and the points from here, 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 these 4 points are projected to this plane, that is called the horizontal plane. So this view, wherever you get the points, you join that points and get the view. That view is called as top view. Now this view and this view are in 2 different planes. Now main objective is to get all the views in a single plane, because in the 3-dimensional figure we are giving 3-dimensional directions, but we want to represent the 3-dimensional object in 2-dimensional media. So for that reason we have to get these 2 figures in a single plane. For that you remove this plane and rotate by 90 degree and keep it in line with the vertical plane. Now your front view comes this plane and the top view comes this plane. See how we are drawing this object in the planes. This is called the XY line. XY line is nothing but the intersection of the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. Now you draw the front view of this object. So this front view which was obtained here in the vertical plane, if you keep the object, the same type of object I have drawn here, this is what we have seen in the plane, the original object, the rectangular prism, the same thing I have drawn it on the board. This XY line is the intersection of the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. The horizontal plane which we were keeping it as a horizontal, to keep both the views in a single plane, we have rotated by 90 degree and keep it in line with the vertical plane. Now this view is called as front view and this view is called as top view. This way of observing the object, that is keeping the object in between the plane of projection and the observer, is called first angle projection. Suppose if you keep this object in the third quadrant, say here, suppose if you keep the object in the third quadrant, now you observe from the same direction, you are getting the front view in a plane which is in between the object and the observer. Here you are getting the projectors piercing the picture, that is the plane, you join those points, you will get the front view. Now you observe that you are at the top and observe the same object. You get the view in this plane. That view is called as top view. Now these two views again are in different place. So to keep these two views in a single plane, you rotate this horizontal plane and keep it in line with the vertical plane. So you will get the top view here and the front view bottom side. Now these views I will draw in the board. So if you draw the views in the third quadrant, keeping the object in the third quadrant, you will get the front view like this. And the top view like this. So this way of representing the views is called as third angle projection. In the first angle projection, the object is kept in between the observer and the plane of projection. In the third angle projection, the object plane of projection is kept in between the object and the observer. If you observe it, and to keep these two views in a single plane, we are rotating on both cases the horizontal plane to keep it in line with the vertical plane. In the first angle projection, we are rotating by 90 degree and keep it on the behind the front view. In the third angle projection, we are rotating, we are getting the plane here, view in this plane, and rotate it and keep it in line with the vertical plane. This is what we have seen actually in the quadrant. Now this is the first quadrant, this is second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. If you keep the object in the first quadrant, the object is kept above horizontal plane and in front of the vertical plane. Now if you observe it, you are going to get the front view here. That's what we have already seen. And if you observe from the top, you are going to get the top view in this horizontal plane. After getting these two views, you rotate this horizontal plane by 90 degree like this and then keep it in line with the vertical plane. Now your front view comes here and top view comes here. This is what we are going to see in the plane. Now these two planes, the vertical plane and the horizontal plane, gives you the front view and top view. If you need a side view, then we have to go in for another plane called the profile plane. If you want to get your left hand side view, the left hand side view you have to observe from the side direction. So you have to keep the plane on the right hand side. The profile plane is kept at the right hand side. Now you observe it from the front and get the front view in this vertical plane. You observe from the top, get the top view in this plane, and you observe from this side and get the left hand side view here. To keep the left hand side view also in line with the single plane, in line with the vertical plane, you rotate by 90 degree like this and keep it here. So your left hand side view comes on the right side of your front view. This is because in first angle projection you have to keep the object in between the plane, reference plane and the observer. So in the front view, this is the object, reference plane, observer. In the top view, observer, object, reference plane. And side view, left hand side view, observer here, object here. So you have to keep necessarily the plane, profile plane on the right hand side. So the views are coming like this. The front view on the vertical plane comes like this. The top view, by rotating 90 degree, you get it here, and the left hand side view, you get it on the right side of this. So this is the projection, and first angle projection. By means of this, we are observing any object and giving all the details of the drawings. Say in actually we can get to 6 views in total. Observing from the front, that is the direction of A, we will get the front view. Observing from the top, that is from B, you will get the top view. Observing from the side C, you will get the left hand side view. Observing from D, you will get the right hand side view here. And observe from the bottom, you will get the bottom view at this place. And observe from the back view is placed here. So totally we can get 6 views in an object. But for getting all the details, necessary details, maximum 3 or 4 views, maximum 4 views, at least 3 views will be sufficient. That is the front view, top view, left hand side view, right hand side view. These 4 views will be giving all the details in total. Most of the times we don't need the bottom view and the back view. This back view and the bottom view are not considered all the time. Most of the times these 4 views, that is the front view, top view, left hand side view, right hand side view, will be sufficient to get any information regarding any of the objects. What we have seen in the first angle projection and the third angle projection is the objects, a rectangular prism. The front view is drawn here, the top view is drawn here, the left hand side view is drawn here, and the right hand side view is drawn here. Now we have already seen that how we are getting these front view, top view and side views. We are keeping the object in between the vertical plane or the plane of projection and the observer. We keep the object in between the observer and plane of projection. So for getting the front view, the vertical plane is the plane of projection. So we are getting the object here, we are keeping the object here, we are observing from this direction, get the front view here. We are observing from the top and get the view in the horizontal plane and rotate it by 90 degree and keep it in line with the vertical plane. So your top view comes here. Now we are observing from the left hand side and getting the object in the profile plane, getting the view in the profile plane and rotate by 90 degree and keep it here. So this is left hand side view. And for getting the right hand side view, you observe from the right hand side, object is here, you get the profile plane here, get the view in this profile plane, rotate by 90 degree and keep it in line with this. So your right hand side view comes to the left of the front view. Now how to name these points? How to name the object? Now you assume that this is point A, this is point B, and this is point C, this is point D, and this point is E, this point is F, this is G, and this is H. Now while marking the points in the views, that actual object has to be named as capital letters A, B, C, D, etc. When you mark it on the top view, it should be marked as small letter A, small letter B, small letter C, D, etc. When you mark it on the front view, it should be marked as small letter A dash, small letter B dash, small letter C dash, D dash, etc. When you mark it on the side view, it should be marked as A double dash, B double dash, C double dash, D double dash, etc. So this point is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. When you observe from the front and if you mark it on the front view, this point is visible. So this point is marked as A dash. This point is visible, so marked at B dash. The point which is behind B is C, that is not visible. So now invisible points are to be marked within bracket. So the point C dash is invisible. Here behind A we have D dash. So this is invisible. When you come to the bottom, this point is E dash visible point, F dash visible point. Behind F dash we have G dash. behind E dash we have H dash. So this is the marking on the front view. When you observe from the top, you are getting A, B, C, D, all the 4 points. This total surface, top surface is visible. Therefore, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C, and this is point D. Now behind A you have E, behind B you have F. So E is behind A, F is behind B, and G is behind C, and H is behind D. So this is the marking on top view. Now when you go for the side view, you are observing from the left hand side. So A and D, A, D and E, H are visible. A, D and E, H are visible. So this point is A double dash. You can also verify A is from here and A is from here. So this point is A double dash. And this is D, and here also D comes from here. So this point is D double dash. Behind A we have B. So this is B double dash. Behind D we have C. So this is C double dash. So B double dash and C double dash are hidden points. Now when you come here, E double dash is here, visible point, and here H double dash is visible point. Behind E double dash we have F double dash. Behind H double dash we have G double dash. So this is marking regarding the left hand side view. When you come to the right hand side view, this point B and this point is C, BC and FG are visible. So this point is rotated like this. So this particular point is B double dash and this point is C double dash. Behind B double dash we have A double dash, A double dash. Behind C we have D double dash. Similarly, in the bottom points F and G are visible. So F double dash and G double dash are visible points. Behind F we have E. Behind F we have E double dash. Behind G we have H double dash. So this is the marking of points in first angle projection. Next we will see how to mark the same points in the third angle projection. In the third angle projection, as we have seen, the plane of projection is kept in between the object and the observer. To get the front view, the vertical plane is kept in between the object and the observer. So we get the front view here. To get the top view, the horizontal plane is kept here. So it is the view is obtained in this horizontal plane and rotated by 90 degree, and the top view comes at this place. The left hand side view in this third angle projection is observed from this direction, because the plane of projection has to be in between the object and the observer. The profile plane is kept in this place in between the observer and the object, and to keep it in the same plane, this is rotated 90 degree and keep it here. So the left hand side view comes to the left of your front view. Now right hand side view, to get the right hand side view, the profile plane is kept in between the object and the observer. So get the view in that profile plane and rotate 90 degree and keep it in line with the vertical plane. So your right hand side view comes to the right of your front view. Now we will see how to mark the points in the third angle projection. The same way, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now in the front view, same, A and B are visible points. A dash is here, A dash is here, B dash here, C dash is hidden and D dash is hidden here. Now in the bottom points, E dash and F dash are in front, G dash behind F dash and H dash behind E dash. So this is the marking in the front view. Now come to the top view. The same way, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A, B, C, D is visible points. Now E, F, G and H are hidden points. When you come for the side view, left hand side view same way, A and D are visible. Here E and H are visible. The same view it is brought here, therefore it is A double dash. Here you can come from this side and then from this side. So A double dash, D double dash, here D double dash. So this is A double dash, D double dash. Behind A double dash we have B double dash. Behind D double dash we have C double dash. When you come to the bottom, E here, so E double dash is visible point. Here H double dash is visible point. Behind E we have F, so F double dash is the visible point. Here G double dash is the visible point. When you go for the right hand side view, this is B, this is C, and this is F and G. So when you take it like this, the B double dash is going to be at this place, and then this is C double dash. Behind B double dash we have A double dash. Behind C double dash we have D double dash. Same way, D, here we have F double dash, and here we have G double dash, visible points. F double dash, behind it we have E double dash, here we have H double dash. So that's all the marking in the side views. If you compare now these two views, that is the first angle projection and third angle projection, here the front view comes here, the same view comes here. The marking and all you can compare, both are same. Similarly, the top view in the first angle projection comes here, the top view in the third angle projection comes here. You can compare, the marking are same. Similarly, the left hand side view comes here in first angle projection, and the left hand side view comes here in the first angle projection, and the left hand side view comes here in the third angle projection. You can compare, these two views are same and the marking are similar. And the right hand side view in the first angle projections comes here, in the right side view in the third angle projections comes here. So you can compare these two views and then the marking are similar. Now we will see what is projection of points. Any point can be specified anywhere in the space. The space can be divided into 4 quadrants as we have already seen. This is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. The point can be kept anywhere in these 4 quadrants. Suppose if you are keeping the point in the first quadrant, it is above the horizontal plane, in front of the vertical plane, because the observers are going to be at this place, observer, and here observer. So if you keep the point here, it is above horizontal plane, in front of the vertical plane. Suppose if the point is kept in the second quadrant, it is above horizontal plane, behind the vertical plane. Suppose if we keep the point in the third quadrant, it is below horizontal plane, behind the vertical plane. If you keep the point in the fourth quadrant, it is below horizontal plane, in front of vertical plane. Now we will see one by one. Suppose if you keep the point in the first quadrant, then how to project it? If you keep the point in the first quadrant, you observe this as first angle projection. So your front view, by observing, it is falling on the vertical plane. Your top view will fall on this horizontal plane. So after getting this top view, you rotate by 90 degree and keep it in line with the vertical plane. So this is the XY line. As we have seen, XY line is the intersection of the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. So your point, how much distance it is above horizontal plane, comes as A dash. And what is the distance in front of the vertical plane? That distance you mark it, and that is A. So this is the projection of point A in first quadrant. Suppose if the point is in the vertical plane and it is some distance above horizontal plane. So if it is like that, how much distance it is above horizontal plane? That point is marked as B dash. Because it is on the vertical plane, the top view of the point will be on XY line. Top view will be on XY line. So you can mark it here, top view. Suppose another point C which is on the horizontal plane. Suppose if it is on the horizontal plane, it is so much of distance in front of VP. That distance you mark it as top view. And then the front view, because it is on the horizontal plane, it will fall on XY line itself, C dash. So this is regarding the point in the first quadrant. Suppose the point is kept in the second quadrant. It is kept in the second quadrant means it is above horizontal plane, behind the vertical plane. Suppose if the point is kept in the third quadrant, it is below horizontal plane, behind the vertical plane. If it is in the third quadrant, we can treat that as third angle projection and draw the views. Suppose if you keep the point in the third quadrant, then your front view will fall on this vertical plane, which is going to be below XY line. The top view you observe from this side, get the view in the horizontal plane, rotate by 90 degree and keep it in line with the vertical plane. So your front view will be whatever distance below HP, that is A dash. Whatever distance behind VP, you take it and mark it as A. Top view, front view. Suppose if the point is on the vertical plane, again it is going to be, the front view is going to be on the vertical plane, B dash. Because it is on the vertical plane, the top view of the point will be on XY line. Suppose the point is on horizontal plane, then the front view will be on XY line. So C dash will be on XY line, and C will be whatever may be the distance behind the vertical plane, that is C. Top view will be behind the vertical plane, whatever may be the distance, you mark it as C, and C dash will be on XY line. Suppose the point is kept in the second quadrant, the point will be specified as above horizontal plane, behind the vertical plane. Now if you observe it for the front view, then the plane of projection comes in between the object and observer, so it looks like a third angle projection. If you observe for the top view, the object is kept in between the plane of projection and the observer, so it looks like a first angle projection. So if the point is in the second quadrant, we cannot rotate and keep it as we are keeping it in the first angle projection or in the third angle projection. Therefore what we are going to do is get the front view in the vertical plane, get the front view in the horizontal plane, and rotate both in the same plane and keep it above XY line. So if the point is in the second quadrant, whatever may be the distance above horizontal plane, you mark it as front view. Whatever may be the distance behind the vertical plane, you mark it as top view. That is A and A dash on the same place, that is above XY line. Suppose the point is on the vertical plane, then you will get the front view, that is B dash will be visible, whatever may be the distance above horizontal plane, and because it is on the vertical plane, the top view will be on XY line. Suppose if the point is on the horizontal plane, then here again the vertical plane is going to be, we are going to get the front view in the XY line because it is on horizontal plane, and whatever may be the distance behind the vertical plane, that is the top view, you have to mark it as C, the distance between the behind the vertical plane, and C dash which is on XY line itself. Suppose if the point is kept in the fourth quadrant, then it is said as or specified as behind the horizontal plane in front of the vertical plane. If you observe it for the front view, observer, object, plane of projection, it looks like first angle projection. If you observe for the top view, observer, plane of projection and the object, it looks like third angle projection. Therefore, these two projection we cannot follow, the first angle projection or third angle projection. Therefore, get the top view here, get the front view here, and rotate by 90 degree and keep it both in the same plane. So in the point is in the fourth quadrant, both the views, front view and top view, will come below XY line. Whatever may be the distance below HP, you mark it as A dash, that is the front view. Whatever distance in front of VP, you mark it as A, that is the distance in front of VP. Now if the point is on the vertical plane, then the front view will be visible as B dash, and the top view will be on XY line itself, B. If the point is on the horizontal plane, then the front view will be on XY line, and the top view will be whatever may be the distance in front of VP, you mark it as C. So this is regarding the point in the fourth quadrant, this is point in the second quadrant, and the point in the first and third quadrant we have already seen. That's all regarding the points of projection of points. Any points can be projected in this manner. In the point is kept in anywhere in the four quadrants. Next we are going to see projection of straight lines. Projection of straight lines can be dealt in four different ways. Number one, straight lines parallel to both horizontal plane and vertical plane. Number two, straight lines parallel to HP and or VP and perpendicular to the other. That means if the straight line is parallel to HP, it is perpendicular to VP. If the straight line is parallel to VP means and the other plane is perpendicular to HP. The third one is straight lines parallel to HP or VP and inclined to the other. And the fourth one is straight lines inclined to both HP and VP. Now we will see one by one. The first one is the straight lines parallel to HP and VP. If you keep this straight line, so consider this as a straight line, you keep the straight line like this. You consider this as the vertical plane and the floor as the horizontal plane. Suppose if you keep it like this, it is parallel to vertical plane and parallel to horizontal plane. So if you keep it like this, in both the views, the front view as well as in the top view, it is going to give the true length of the straight line because it is parallel to both HP and VP. If you draw the projection, you draw the XY line, the front view is going to be like this. It is whatever may be the distance above HP. This is the distance above HP. So you mark it as A dash, B dash. The front view of the straight line is drawn as A dash, B dash. So the top view will be whatever may be the distance in front of VP. If it is in front of VP, the distance you take it and draw a horizontal line. So this is going to be AB. Now this is regarding the straight line in the first quadrant. That is, all the straight lines problems are going to be dealt in first angle projection only. Therefore, you keep the straight line like this. It is parallel to VP and parallel to HP. So you get the front view here, top view here. This distance is the distance in front of VP and this is the distance above HP. Now if you want to have a side view, you can easily draw by drawing a line here, that is the profile plane which is intersecting the vertical plane, and draw a meet-tree line, that means a 45-degree line, because whatever we are able to observe here is going to be a mirror image in the side view. So you project here, project here, it is going to be a point. If you observe from the left hand side, it is going to be a point. So the point, visible point is A double dash, hidden point is B double dash. So this is regarding the sight line in the parallel to HP and VP. The second condition is the sight line is parallel to HP or VP and perpendicular to the other. First case, we will take the sight line is parallel to VP, perpendicular to HP, then the sight line will become like this. So now the sight line is perpendicular to HP, parallel to VP. If you want to draw this, you are going to draw a line like this, and whatever may be the distance, because it is parallel to VP, you are going to get the true length in the front view. So you get it as A dash and B dash. So this is point A, this is point B. So you get A dash, B dash, this is the true length of the straight line. The top view is going to be a point. Whatever may be the distance in front of VP, you take and mark it as a point, and the point A is visible, B is hidden. So this is the point is parallel to VP and perpendicular to HP. If you want to have a side view, the side view is also going to be parallel to the profile plane. So you draw the meet-tree line, project from here, draw this line. So this is going to be your side view for this straight line. This is A double dash, B double dash. So the second condition, the first part is the straight line is parallel to VP and perpendicular to HP. Now the second condition is, if the straight line is going to be parallel to HP and perpendicular to VP, you have to keep it like this. If you keep it like this, the straight line now is parallel to HP and perpendicular to VP. If you want to project that, you draw the XY line. Now the straight line is like this, therefore your front view is going to be a point. Whatever may be the distance above horizontal plane, you mark it as a point and then draw the projector, and here you have the true length. This is, suppose this is the point A and this is point B, you mark it as A and B, and this point is the front view. A dash is visible, B dash is hidden. So this is regarding the point sight line which is parallel to HP and perpendicular to VP. For this sight line also, if you want to draw a side view, then this side view will be this is the profile plane line. So draw the meet-tree line here. So this is your side view for this straight line. This point is A double dash and this point is B double dash. So if you keep it like this, the straight line is going to be parallel to HP and parallel to profile plane, perpendicular to VP. If you keep it like this, it is going to be parallel to VP, parallel to profile plane and perpendicular to HP. Now we will see the third category. Now the straight line is parallel to HP or VP and inclined to the other. The first category, we keep it parallel to VP and inclined to HP, then the straight line is going to be like this. If it is parallel to VP and inclined to HP, some angle, then you can keep it like this, or this way, both are same. It is going to be inclined to HP. If you keep it like this also, it is going to be inclined to HP. Now in this case, which plane it is parallel? In that plane, you draw the view first. You take this point as A dash. Whatever may be the inclination with respect to HP, you draw and mark it as B dash. This is the inclination with respect to HP is called as theta. Now this A dash B dash will give you the true length of the straight line because it is parallel to VP. Now for this, if you want to have the top view, you must be given with one point, the position of A or B. So from here you draw a parallel line to XY line, then this will be the top view of the straight line. So if the straight line is parallel to VP, you will get the true length in the front view. The top view will be parallel to XY line, therefore you get the top view in the horizontal plane. Now if you have the top view parallel to XY line means definitely it is going to be parallel to VP, so you are going to get the true length in the front view. Now if you have the straight line parallel to HP and inclined to VP, this is the inclination with respect to vertical plane. In that case, you have to draw the inclined line. This is the inclination with respect to VP, that is called phi, and you draw this line. This is A and this is B. If it is inclined to VP and it is parallel to HP, you are going to get the true length on top view. And to get the front view, you project from the top view and draw wherever this, whatever may be the height above HP, you draw a horizontal line, you will get A dash B dash. So this is the front view and this is the top view. Now the straight line is parallel to HP means you are going to get the true length on the horizontal plane, that is top view, and the front view is going to be parallel to XY line. Now the fourth category is the straight line inclined to both the planes. The straight lines inclined to both the planes means it is inclined to HP and VP. The straight line will be somewhere like this. This is the inclination with respect to horizontal plane and this is the inclination with respect to vertical plane. Suppose if the problem is like this, how to approach the problem, how to solve the problem. For this, let us assume that you have the front view and top view of the straight line are known. Assume that this is the front view of the straight line, A dash B dash, and this is the top view of the straight line, AB. Now these two are known. How to find the true length? If you find the ways, then we will be able to solve the problem. How to solve a problem if the straight line is given and the inclination with respect to HP and VP are given. If you know the front view and top view, if you know how to find the true length and the true inclination with respect to HP and VP, then we can solve any problem if any of the details are given. If you have the problem like this, now we know that if the straight line is inclined to both HP and VP, we are not going to get the true length in any of these two planes because it is not parallel to any of the planes. Now to get the true length, we have to make this straight line parallel to any one of the planes. First we will try to make it parallel to VP. If you want to make it parallel to VP, you keep the point A, one of the point as constant, and keep the inclination with respect to HP as constant and try to rotate it and keep it in parallel to VP. So we can rotate like this and then make it parallel to vertical plane. While rotating like this, we are keeping this inclination with respect to HP as constant. Therefore, whatever top view we are getting here, the same length of the top view we will be getting if you make it parallel to VP. So if you keep it parallel to VP, then also we are going to project here and get the top view. So these two top view length will be same. Therefore what we are going to do is, we bring this top view length parallel to XY line. We keep it parallel to XY line. So with this as center, this as radius, draw an arc. So this point as B1. Now AB1 is equal to AB. AB1 is equal to AB, but when the straight line is made parallel to VP. So for this top view AB1, if you get the front view, that will give you the true length of the straight line. So if you rotate like this, you just observe the locus of this particular point B. It is going to travel at the same distance from horizontal plane. So it is going to trace a circle. The circle, if you observe from the front, it is going to be a straight line. Already we know a point in the B in the front view. Therefore this circle will be, the locus of B will be along this line. Now once you know the B1 dash is going to be along this projector. So the intersection of these two, this is the locus of B's, B dash in the front view. So this intersection point is B1 dash. So connect A dash and B1 dash. If you join A dash and B1 dash, that is the true length of the straight line AB, and this is the true inclination of the straight line with respect to horizontal plane. Theta is the true inclination of the straight line with respect to horizontal plane. The same way, you try to rotate this straight line and keep it in line, that is parallel to HP. Suppose you rotate this straight line and make it parallel to horizontal plane without changing this inclination with respect to vertical plane. So you can keep this point as same, A point A same, and then keep the inclination also same. Try to rotate it something like this and keep it like this. Originally, if the straight line is like this, this is the front view, and if you keep it along with this and without disturbing this inclination, if you rotate and keep it parallel to HP means, this position also will give you another front view. The length of the front view in this position as well as in this position are same, because we are keeping the inclination with respect to vertical plane as constant. Therefore this front view is nothing but the same front view A dash B dash. So with this as center, this as radius, you try to rotate it and draw a horizontal line. You call this point as B2 dash. Now A dash B2 dash, this A dash B2 dash A dash B2 dash is the front view equal to A dash B dash, but this front view is when you make the straight line parallel to horizontal plane. So for this front view, if you find the top view, that top view will give you the true length of the straight line. So draw a projector from B2 dash to get the P2. And we know that while rotating like this, the point B is going to move at a distance, same distance from vertical plane. So it is going to trace a circle in the space. Now the same circle, when you observe from the top, is going to look like a straight line. That straight line is nothing but passing a line through B. So this is the locus of B. Locus of B's. So the intersection of B2 dash and this locus will give you the point B2. So if you join A dash, A and B2, this A, B2 will give you the true length of the straight line in the top view. Now the true length in the top view is A, B2, and this is the inclination of the straight line with respect to vertical plane phi. So this is the inclination of the straight line with respect to vertical plane, and this is the inclination of the straight line with respect to horizontal plane, and this is the true length in the front view, and this is the true length in the top view. Now we will solve a straight line problem. Take for example a straight line AB of 70 mm long. He is inclined at 30 degree to horizontal plane and 45 degree to vertical plane, and the point A is 10 mm above HP, 10 mm above HP and 20 mm in front of VP. How to solve this problem? Take a XY line, mark the point A and A dash. A is 10 mm above HP, so A dash, and A is 20 mm in front of VP. Now we have marked A and A dash. The straight line is inclined at 30 degree to HP. So draw a horizontal line, draw a 30 degree line, take the 70 mm long, mark it as B1 dash. Because it is a true line, it is not the projection. A dash, B dash is not this. So A dash is this one because the point A is already located. B1 dash because A dash B1 dash is the true length of the straight line. If you know the true length of the straight line, then immediately you know the length of the top view which is parallel to XY line. So A, this is point B1. Now we know the true length of the top view, true length in the front view, therefore the length of the top view we have already located. Now you know the inclination with respect to VP, that is 45 degree. You draw that 45 degree line and take the same true length of the straight line and mark it on this top view. Now true length of the straight line, you mark it here, this as B2. Now A dash AB2 is the true length of the straight line in the top view. Once you know the true length in the top view, the front view is going to be parallel to XY line. So this is B2 dash. Now we have located the length of the front view, the length of the top view, and we know that the locus of B dashes will be along this and B will be along this line. This locus will be the top view, locus B will be here. In the front view, the locus is going to be here. We know the length of the front view. So this is center, this is radius, draw an arc and mark this point as B dash. And A dash, B dash is the front view of the straight line. We know the length of the top view here. So with this as center, this as radius, you draw an arc and mark this point as B. And if you join AB, this is the top view of the straight line. If you join this B dash and B, this should pass through the same projector. The B and B dash should pass through the same projector. Once it is passing through the same projector, then we can confirm that the problem is solved correctly. So we have drawn the projector A dash, that is the projection of straight line A dash B dash in the front view and AB in the top view. Thank you.